Humans fear things. If we didn't, then we would be extinct. This is because fear allows us to run away from a situation or fight something better than we would do if we didn't feel that way. Think of this situation. There's a bear in a cage. Do you go in there and try to make friends with it? Well, if you're not crazy or a professional in that area, then you won't because you're scared to do so. This fear could save your life. But what if someone wasn't afraid of a bear in a cage? Well, then they're more likely to go in there and meet their end. So you survived because you're scared of going into the cage, while the person who wasn't scared got torn to pieces. See what I mean? Well, this is all good except for the person who would be in the cage. But do humans ever fear something unnecessarily? Of course they do, or I wouldn't have made this video. Join me as I count down 5 reasons you shouldn't be so scared of the things you're scared of. Many people fear lightning. I mean, we've all heard the stories about the people who get hit and are turned to toast. But should we really be as scared of them as many of us are? Well, no, it turns out. You should be far more scared of the lid on your pen, as more people actually die from choking on these things than get struck by lightning. Luckily for me, I'm one of those people who has never chewed on a pen lid in my life, at least as far as I can remember, so don't chew on your pens, kids. Who knows if you'll be there in 10 minutes time if you do. This next one is interesting. Do you like bats? Yeah? Okay, this fact isn't for you then. But if you don't like them, then let me tell you something. Most bats don't feed on blood. They prefer nectar, fruits and flowers. They basically eat and do the same things as butterflies, except they do it at night and they have a superhero named after them. Although I do think this should change. Butterfly Man, anyone? No? Okay then. Bats are basically an amazing way to control pests, so you can thank them partly for your garden having less pests in it. But I'm not finished. Vampire bats very rarely will bite a human, and even if they do, it's completely harmless. So yeah, this makes the majority of them as scary as a daffodil in a garden. If you live in the US like 50% of my viewers do, then this fact is for you. This is also good for any American soldiers, but maybe not so much for those who live in the US. It also means you can stop fearing so much about a loved one's safety if they are serving in the Middle East. Seeing as more people die from guns in the US every year than people have died in the Iraq and Afghanistan war since they started. This though is just for the US Army and obviously does not count the hundreds of thousands of Iraqis and Afghanistanis killed. Watch out when you're partying. This next fact is for you. More people are killed by flying champagne corks than people killed by poisonous spiders each year. See, that poisonous spider doesn't seem that scary now, does it? Sticking with the same subject of spiders, after the devastating tsunami that hit Japan in 2011, the spiders that lived on the ground were forced to find new homes up in the trees for a while, making sure that their webs covered entire forests and arachnophobes cried themselves to sleep. This though turned out to be a good thing. One of the biggest health fears was that the water and dampness could bring mosquitoes which bring malaria, but luckily a malaria outbreak never happened because the spiders killed all the mosquitoes that were spreading it, not because they knew that they were saving people, but because spiders think mosquitoes are a nice breakfast, lunch and dinner, but still, you can hardly hate them for it.